Today we are going to discuss the topic that is esophagus. The esophagus is a tube-like structure. Tube-like structure. So the length of esophagus is 20 to 25 centimeter long, approximately 20 to 25 centimeter long. So actually, esophagus is a first tube-like structure in the alimentary canal. Mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx are the regions. But esophagus is a tube-like structure made up of with some muscles. So longest esophagus seen in the giraffe. So we all know giraffe has a long neck. So longest esophagus seen in giraffe. So we all know why. There are some natural selection reasons also there. So longest esophagus seen in the giraffe. So 20 to 25 centimeter long. So how it starts and how it ends we'll see in a minute. So first and foremost, suppose it is our esophagus. The starting part or starting opening is called as gullet. Gullet is the opening of a esophagus. Then the ending part where the esophagus starts, the esophagus opens into stomach, that region is called as cardiac sphincter. Cardiac sphincter. So cardiac sphincter also called as gastroesophageal sphincter. So these are the two, it is starting point, it is an ending point. So esophagus made up of with the muscles. Those muscles are located like this. So in the esophagus, the length of esophagus, 1/3 of anterior part of esophagus is made up of with the skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles. So this region made up of with the skeletal muscles. So middle region, 1/3 part is made up of with the both skeletal and smooth muscles. So skeletal and smooth muscles are present in the middle region of the esophagus. But lower region of esophagus is made up of with the only smooth muscles. Smooth muscles. So skeletal muscles, skeletal and smooth muscles are located in the esophagus region. The epithelium that lines esophagus is a non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium present in the inner region of esophagus, lined in the inner region of esophagus region. So this non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium is present in esophagus. The muscles which are present in esophagus region, those are helpful for the movement of peristaltic movement. So peristaltic movement is conducted by these muscles. The movement that is present in esophagus, peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement is seen in the movements is seen in the esophagus. The food from pharynx to the stomach reached by this tube. So there is no digestion takes place in this region. There is no digestion takes place in this region. So starting with gullet and ending with the cardiac sphincter. So esophagus opens into the next region, that is a stomach. So non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium is present in the esophagus region. There are three muscles. So two types of muscles, skeletal muscles and skeletal and smooth muscles are normally present in the esophagus region. So at the same time, so in the last video we discussed that histology of alimentary canal, and that a gut of a cross section of alimentary canal consists of 4 layers. In this esophagus also the 4 layers are present. First one serosa, next muscularis, the muscles are present, muscularis. Third one submucosa, mucosa, and fourth mucosal innermost layer. Mucosa is present in also in the gut of in the wall of esophagus. At the same time, in this esophagus, the gastric mucus is present. Mucus is present. So to lubricate, to facilitate providing transportation of food from the pharynx to the stomach, there is a mucus is present in the esophagus. So starting with gullet and ending with the cardiac sphincter. So 20 to 25 centimeter long. So longest esophagus seen in giraffe. Then the esophagus is lined by non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So peristaltic movements are present in a peristaltic movements are shown by esophagus. So the peristaltic movements under the cross section of esophagus shows 4 layers, that is serosa, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa. Because mucus is present in innermost layer in the gut, innermost layer in the esophagus. So automatically mucus facilitates the providing the transportation of food from the pharynx to the stomach. So where the region, the esophagus opens into the stomach. Next region is the stomach region. So opened by with the help of cardiac sphincter. So these two are relaxing while swallowing the food. సో ఫుడ్ అనేది ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ అవుతుంది ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఈ యొక్క స్పింక్టర్స్ ఏవైతే ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఏమవుతుంటే రిలాక్స్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే సో ఫుడ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ది గల్లెట్ టు ది కార్డియాక్ స్పింక్టర్. ద కార్డియాక్ స్పింక్టర్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ గ్యాస్ట్రో esophageal sphincter. Gastroesophageal sphincter. Suppose if you take cross section of esophagus, this region is a serosa. So serosa consists of number of layers, but middle inner layer is called as a mucosal layer. This is mucosa. So this mucosa covered with the non-keratinized stratified epithelium. This part is called as lumen of esophagus. Lumen. So this is lumen of esophagus. Number of muscles are present in this region. So peristaltic movements are taking place in this with the help of these muscles. Then esophagus opens into the stomach. So stomach is a muscular dilated bag-like structure. So stomach is a muscular bag-like dilated structure. Suppose if you want to see the structure of stomach, how it is situated, we will see in it. First and foremost, esophagus opens into the next region, stomach. Up to now, we just see that region, only two black structures and regions, but here we will see the bag-like structure. So that too it is composed of muscles. So that's why we call it as muscular bag-like structure. So at the same time it dilates, that means it extends depending on the situations. Dilated structure, dilates depending on the depending on the situations, dilated structure. So what is the shape of stomach? The stomach shape is J-shaped in our body. So J-shaped in our gut. Gut region ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే J-shaped గా కొంచెం బ్యాగ్ లాగా ఉంటుంది. At the same time, the stomach actually has two openings. What are two openings? We all know. First and foremost, the esophagus opens into the stomach. So esophagus opens into the stomach with the help of cardiac sphincter. That is also known as gastroesophageal sphincter. So it is upper opening. The distal opening is called as pyloric sphincter. So upper one is called as cardiac sphincter. Upper one is cardiac sphincter. Cardiac region also called as cardiac sphincter. Why we call it as cardiac means near to the heart. Then lower one. So what is not lower one? Distal one. We will say distal one is a pyloric sphincter. Pyloric sphincter. So two openings are there in stomach. So one is upper one cardiac sphincter and a distal one, that is a pyloric sphincter. So actually if you want to divide stomach, there are four parts are there. So it is our esophagus. It opens into muscular bag-like structure, that is our stomach. So esophagus opens into stomach with the help of this cardiac sphincter. Cardiac sphincter. So this region is called cardiac region. So where cardiac sphincter is located. Then this bulging part is called fundic or fundus region. Fundic region. It is called as fundic region, second part. Then the body of the stomach is main part. Main body is situated like here. Then innermost or distal opening of stomach is called as pyloric sphincter. So this part is called as a pyloric sphincter. So there are four parts. Stomach consists of stomach. So one is cardiac sphincter, at that region called as cardiac region. This region fundic region, main body, pyloric sphincter. Actually, what is the use of these sphincters? So the sphincters allow the food from the esophagus to the stomach. At the same time, it prevents the backflow of the food to the esophagus. Same at pyloric sphincter also actually works as a sphincter, and also food transport from the stomach to the duodenum. Then the prevention of backflow takes place with the help of pyloric sphincter. So these two sphincters act as a valves and also act as a gate. If they want, they open, or else if they don't want, they close. So cardiac sphincter, pyloric sphincters are that. So ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి 3 regions, these are 4 regions are present in our stomach. So actually the glands present in stomach, those are called as gastric glands. So stomach regions లో ఉన్నటువంటి glands మనం gastric glands అంటాం. సో యాక్చువల్లీ gastric glands ఏ లొకేషన్లో ఉంటాయంటే, సో మనం ఇందాక చెప్పినట్లుగానే ఇంత ప్రీవియస్ వీడియోలో చెప్పినట్లుగా there are 4 layers cross section of our alimentary canal: serosa, muscularis and submucosa, mucosa layers. These 4 regions, the 4 layers are also present in our stomach cross section. So if you want to see the cross section of our stomach, we will find some glands. Those are gastric glands. They have different type of cells. They secrete gastric juice. That gastric juice helpful for the digestion of food particles. So what are those glands? How they are situated? We'll see in a minute. First and foremost, depending on the location of the glands, the glands are 3 types. So cardiac glands, then second fundic glands, and third one that is pyloric glands. Cardiac glands, fundic glands and pyloric glands. The names are denoted as their location. Depending on their location, 3 types of glands are there. Depending on the structure, the body parts has 4 parts in stomach. One is cardiac region, fundic region, main body, pyloric sphincter. So next we will see the cross section of stomach. So cross section of stomach consists of gastric glands. So those gastric glands are secreted gastric juice that is helpful in the digestion. So first and foremost, gastric glands consist of number of cells. So those cells are secrete different type of secretions. So first and foremost, we will see the cross section of stomach. Cross section of stomach wall. So what is the location? What is the location of the stomach? If you want to say precisely, the location is upper part of the abdominal cavity, left corner of the below the diaphragm. So upper corner ఏదైతే ఉందో, suppose ఇది esophagus region అంటుంది. This esophagus opens into this region, that is a stomach. ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఏరియా అంతా మనం ఏం చెప్తూ అంటే దిస్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ అబ్డోమినల్ క్యావిటీ. సో అబ్డోమినల్ క్యావిటీలో ఏ రీజన్ ఉంది? అప్పర్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద అబ్డోమినల్ క్యావిటీ, లెఫ్ట్ కార్నర్ టు ది డయాఫ్రమ్. డయాఫ్రమ్కి లెఫ్ట్ కార్నర్లో మన యొక్క స్టమక్ ఉంటుంది. సమ్ టైమ్ సిచ్యువేషన్, సో లొకేషన్ ఆఫ్ స్టమక్ని కూడా మనకి ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఓరియంటెడ్గా అడుగుతుంది. సో ఈసోఫాగస్ ఓపెన్స్ ఇంటూ ది స్టమక్ సిచ్యువేటెడ్ అప్పర్ part of the abdominal cavity and left corner of the below the diaphragm. This is diaphragm line. సో డయాఫ్రమ్ కింద ఉన్నటువంటి రీజన్లో స్టమక్ సిచ్యువేట్ అయి ఉంటుంది. సో క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేసినట్లయితే, సపోజ్ క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ కన్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్, సో అందరికి తెలిసినట్లుగానే ఇక్కడ 4 లేయర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. వన్ ఈజ్ సీరోసా, ఫస్ట్ లేయర్ ఆఫ్ స్టమక్, అవుటర్ మోస్ట్ లేయర్ ఆఫ్ స్టమక్. దెన్ సెకండ్ మస్కులారిస్. So here in stomach, muscularis region consists of one more type of muscles. Those are oblique muscles. Then third type, submucosa. Then last and innermost region, that is a mucosa. where the gastric glands are situated. Gastric glands are situated in the innermost region, that is a mucosa. These are the four layers that are present in the stomach wall. The cross section of stomach wall observe there are some gastric glands. So gastric glands consist of a number of cells. Their secretions also helpful in the digestion. First and foremost, so ఈ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో మనం డ్రా చేసినట్లయితే సపోజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ outermost region. So outermost region is a serosa. So serosa, this part. So these cells are all are serosa. This is serous covering of a stomach wall. Serosa. Serosa. This part. This is uppermost region of our stomach wall. So not only stomach, alimentary canal consists of outermost wall is a serosa. Serous covering is present in the outermost layer. At the same time, below this one there is a layer, that is a muscularis. Second layer of stomach wall, muscularis. So in the muscularis, here we can see three types of muscles. So remember this one. So first, outer longitudinal muscles. Longitudinal muscles. Outer longitudinal muscles. Middle circular muscles. Circular muscles. So innermost region consists of inner one consists of the muscles. Those are oblique muscles. Oblique muscles. So muscularis consists of three types of muscles in the stomach. So extended additional part is there. The oblique muscles are the extended part of the muscles remaining gut, apart from the remaining gut. So muscularis. So these are outer longitudinal lining, single line draw చేస్తున్నాం. Outer longitudinal muscles. So these are outer longitudinal muscles. Then middle region, that is a circular muscles. These are circular muscles are situated like this. Circular muscles. So innermost muscles are oblique muscles. They are denoted like this. They are denoted like this. So these are oblique muscles. Innermost muscles of the stomach. So this is total region. These three layers are called as muscularis. So remember this one. Innermost is consists of oblique muscles along with the other gut regions. So then next region, that is submucosa. Submucosa. Submucosa consists of number of blood vessels. Number of blood vessels, and also the connective tissue, which is made up of connective tissue, that is areolar tissue. Areolar tissue. These are the three layers. There is no differentiation. So one is a serosa, peritoneum covering. Then submucosa made up of with areolar tissue, and the muscularis, middle one muscularis. Muscularis also consists of three types of muscles. But where the gastric glands are situated, that is a mucosa. Mucosa consists of gastric glands. So here the gastric glands are this type. Those are simple tubular branched glands. Simple tubular branched glands. So how they are located, we will see here. First and foremost, this region is a mucosal covering. Simple tubular branched glands. Simple tubular branched glands. This region, total region is stomach wall for one side. Another side also there. So in between this, we can call it as a gastric cavity. Gastric cavity. So this region is consists of gastric glands. Gastric glands. So what is the actual region of the name is submucosa, then mucosa. But here we will see some gastric glands. So that's why we call it as gastric region. This gastric mucosa consists of mucous protein. mucus coating. So secretion of mucus takes place here. Thick mucus covering is cover the mucus layer. So what is the use of this mucus? The mucus protects the inner lining of stomach from the HCl and enzymes. So this thick mucus coating protects the inner lining of stomach. This is inner lining of stomach from the HCl and enzymes. So enzymes or HCl excoriation, prevention of excoriation takes place by this thick mucus region. So okay, so what are those gastric glands? What are those cells? So here we will see different types of cells in a mucosa region, that is called gastric glands. This opening is called as gastric pit. Gastric pit. So the glands are located here. From these glands, so the gastric juice is secreted. From these glands, gastric juice is secreted and released out from the gastric pit into the gastric cavity. So preparation of gastric juice takes place here and releases into the gastric pit and releases out from the gastric pit through the gastric pit to the gastric cavity. So what are those cells? Different type of cells form a gland. So here we will see lining of a gastric gland. Gastric gland lining. The basal region, neck region consists of, here we will see neck region consists of some cells. Those are goblet cells. Goblet cells. Below this there is a different type of cells. Those are called as parietal cells, also called as oxyntic cells. Oxyntic cells. So two different type of cells are seen here. Next, in this region, so basal part of glands consist of stem cells, also called as basal cells. Stem cells also called as basal cells. Then here we will see chief cells. Not chief, 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 chief cells, also called as peptic cells or zymogen cells. Then here we will see G cells are also called Argentine cells, G cells. So this lining, this layer total covered with the number of cells. This is total covering of a gastric gland. So in between there are some different cells. Those cells secrete some secretions. So this is the arrangement of cells. Those are present in the gastric glands. So this region anta normal ga draw chestam. So this is gastric gland arrangement. These are gastric cells. These cells secrete gastric juice. The gastric juice releases out from the gastric pit. It is located. It reaches to the gastric cavity and helpful for the digestion of food. So these are the cells arranged in the gastric glands in our stomach. So first and foremost, recall one thing. So situation of stomach, it is situated at the upper abdominal cavity, left corner below the diaphragm. So cross section of this, there are so many, 4 layers: serosa, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa. Serosa consists of serous coating. Muscularis layer consists of 3 types of muscles. Muscularis, inner oblique, middle circular muscles, outer longitudinal muscles are present in the stomach. So peristaltic movements, whatever the grinding region takes place here with the help of these muscles. Submucosa consists of made up of with areolar tissue. This region submucosa. This mucosa layer consists of gastric glands. Those gastric glands consist of number of cells. Those cells are situated like this: goblet cells, parietal cells, then stem cells, basal cells, G cells and chief cells. These cells secrete different type of secretions. Now we will see the secretions of, what are the secretions of gastric gland cells. So what are those cells? Remember once again: goblet cells, parietal cells, stem cells, G cells and chief cells. Now what are those cells and their secretions we will see in a detail. So first and foremost, chief cells are also called parietal chief cells, also called peptic cells. One more name is there, that is Zymogen cells. Zymogen cells. So what is the use of these cells? They secrete enzymes, peptic, chief cells, zymogens, all are different names for the single cell. So they secrete some enzymes, that is prorenin, pepsinogen. These two are inactive enzymes, prorenin and pepsinogen. These two are inactive enzymes. And gastric lipase, mild gastric lipase. So these are secreted by these cells. So they are present in the mucosa of gastric glands. Then next type of cells, auxintic cells. Auxintic cells, also called parietal cells. Parietal cells. So what is the secretion of these cells? They can provide a HCl for our stomach. HCl, hydrochloric acid. At the same time, calcium, remember this one, calcium intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor. Calcium intrinsic factor. So what is this one? What is the use of this one? Calcium intrinsic factor absorbs vitamin B12, which is cyanocobalamin, absorbs vitamin B12. Vitamin B12. So here HCl provides some enzyme activators. So automatic auxintic cells and parietal cells secretes HCl, calcium intrinsic factor. Next, third type of cells. Those are goblet cells. Goblet cells, they secrete mucus. Fourth type, G or argentafin cells. So what is the use of this one? They have some substance, that is serotonin. It provides a contraction of smooth muscles. Serotonin is the substance, provides contraction of smooth muscles. And also these G cells have the hormone. They secrete a hormone, that is gastrin hormone, which is local hormone, also called as local hormone. Gastrin is a local hormone. Now fifth type of cells, those are basal cells, also called stem cells. So what is the purpose of these stem cells? So these are also called regenerating in function. Regenerating in function. So these are the different types of cells present in gastric glands. So basal cells, also called as stem cells. So regenerating in function, that means if there is any damage happens in this type of cells, automatically that damage is fulfilled by the cells are regenerated by the basal or stem cells. Different types of cells present in the gastric glands. What are they? Chief cells, also called peptic cells, zymogen cells. They secrete prorenin, inactive enzymes, prorenin and pepsinogen, gastric lipase. So auxintic or parietal cells, HCl, calcium intrinsic factor. Calcium intrinsic factor is the helpful for the absorption of vitamin B12. Then goblet cells secrete mucus for the lubrication purpose. The G cells are argentafin cells. They can create serotonin substance, contraction of smooth muscles. Gastrin is a local hormone, so endocrine in function. So basal cells are stem cells. They are regenerating in function. That means if there is any damage happens, automatically fulfilled by this basal or stem cells. So what is the composition of these cells? So what is the composition of gastric juice? So composition of gastric juice means, so if the gastric juice secretes, what are the components that are present in gastric juice? So we will say composition of gastric juice. So gastric juice secreted by the gastric glands and releases into the gastric cavity. In that cavity, if you take some gastric juice, there are some components. The composition is first and foremost in the composition we'll see HCl. So enzymes prorenin, which is a inactive renin. Prorenin is present in composition of gastric juice. Then pepsinogen. So inactive pepsin. So actually the inactive pepsin group form. Inactive pepsin. Then gastrin, which is local hormone, gastrin. Then mucus and gastric lipase, mild gastric lipase, casein intrinsic factor, absorption of the vitamin B12. This is the composition of our gastric juice. So composition contains HCl, prorenin, inactive renin, pepsinogen, inactive pepsin, gastrin, mucus, gastric lipase and casein intrinsic factor consist of gas. These are the components that are present in a gastric juice. What is the pH of a gastric juice? 1.2 to 1.8. That means acidic in nature. That acidic nature provides the activator for the enzymes. So enzymes activate out and this acidic pH providing anedi unte pH antundi 1. So actually the gastric glands, the number of gastric glands in our stomach is approximately 35 millions. 35 millions approximately gastric glands. Approximately. What are they? Gastric glands. So the volume of gastric juice per day is volume of gastric juice per day is 2 to 3 liters per day. 2 to 3 liters per day. So actually food is stores in stomach sometime. It stays in stomach sometime. If it is carbohydrate rich food, that means sweets, carbohydrate rich food, it stays in stomach 1 to 2 hours only. 1 to 2 hours. If it is protein rich food, that means 2 to 3 hours. Fat rich food stays in our stomach 3 to 4 hours. So depending on the composition of organic compound present in the food, the stomach stores the food like this 1 to 2 hours. Maybe protein rich food 2 to 3 hours. So fat rich food stays in our stomach 3 to 4 hours. 4 hours maximum, 3 to 4 hours. So stomach stores the food to mixing of gastric glands in our body. So what is the precursor for gastric juice? How this gastric juice secrete in our body? So here we will see there is a nervous reflex caused by vagus nerve, which is the 10th cranial nerve. Vagus nerve causes the some nervous system, cranial nerves causes some reactions in our body. Automatically gastric juice somewhat secrete. Then gastrin, we also know that is a local hormone. Gastrin is the endocrine function. If gastrin secretes, automatically gastric juice ready to release. Then automatically psychological factor, that is a psychological factor. Third one is a psychological factors. Those are taste and food smell. Smell and taste decides secretion of a gastric food. The gastric juice doubled after eating our food half an hour or within 1 hour or half an hour. The gastric juice maximum in our food. So gastric juice secretion is more compared to empty stomach to the filled stomach. So filled stomach consists of a double number of gastric juice. So that gastric juice helpful for the digestion of a stomach. These are the some common points for the gastric juice. pH of gastric juice is 1.2 to 1.5, 1.8. It is acidic in nature. So gastric glands approximately 35 million are present. Volume of gastric juice 2 to 3 liters per day. So carbohydrate rich food stays in stomach 1 to 2 hours. Protein rich is 2 to 3 hours and fat rich 3 to 4 hours. So what is the precursor for gastric juice means there is a reflex present in our body. Vagus nerve constitute the precursors for the releasing of gastric juice, and also Gastrin, not gastric, gastrin is the endocrine hormone. So this hormone also facilitate releasing of gastric juice. Then psychological factors, those are taste and detection of smell, taste and smell, also precursors for the releasing of gastric juice. So this is all about stomach briefly. Thank you for watching.